Hello guys and welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. Once again I'm Greg and this is the Starting 11 show where I'll give you a little bit of injury news and my prediction for Sunday's game at Craven Cottage. From Ancelotti we've heard the news that Delph, Allen and Richarlison are all fit to play despite slight pickups of injuries during international breaks or slight concerns going into international break. But the bad news is that Coleman is out of contention. I think he picked up a training injury whilst on international duty. And the last bit of injury news or a last little update is that Gbamin is now 2 weeks from training, which I think will be important for us because we've seen that with any situation where Allen might be unfit or might not get in the team, we are thin on the ground in terms of defensive midfielders. Delph comes in, but he just doesn't do the job as well as someone like Allen who really disrupts. So Gbamin will definitely add a good midfield option to that team. That being said, I think when we're looking at the team, it kind of picks itself in that we go back to our strongest team and it's the team that Ancelotti always seems to revert to. But I'm starting to think that there's questions as to maybe James' positioning. Is he played in the right position? I'm not ever going to say let's drop him because he's a star player and he does things for us going forwards that no other player can do. But is he in the right role? Does he leave our right side too exposed? I know a lot of people have written and talked about this and it's quite hot discussion at the moment. And especially with Coleman out on that right side, it looks likely we'll probably have Kenny in behind and, he's Britain's worst disciplined right back. For us, for Schalke, he's constantly caught out of position. He's great going forwards, but that is not what we need with someone like James given a free rein in front of him. So, that right side could be quite catastrophic. Maybe we get away with it against a team like Fulham, but it's come back to bite us against sort of bigger. Look at a team like United who are very good at fast counter-attacking football. Every time they'd come down the right against us, and they'd pretty much have a sort of have it their way. So that being said, let's look at the team that I think Ancelotti will pick, but I will also give you a little bit of sort of commentary on the side as to what I think. Now, I'm not going to say what could work better because I'm never going to go out and say my selection is going to be better than legendary manager Carlo Ancelotti's, but we'll have a little discussion about what else could work, who could go where, and little personnel tweaks that could change the way we play. So starting off in goal, I think we probably see Jordan Pickford back, well not back, but continuing to stay in the team. I know Olsen had his one game and performed well, but it seems like the fact that Pickford came straight back in means that he's the starting keeper. Olsen did well, but maybe he just provided that kick up the arse as I'm here, I'm good. Don't make too many mistakes, or I'm ready just to take the shirt, take the position. So Pickford in for now until he makes his next mistake and also I can see the cycle competing for a while until we bring in another properly good competitive keeper for that position. Then at right back there's a little bit of a debate. Is it John Joe Kenny? Is it Godfrey? We saw him play on the right there, but he did then look lost in the next game after the Merseyside derby where he performed well. I think it's going to be John Joe Kenny because it's just his natural position. It makes sense to have him there, but I've already talked about the concerns I think we have on that right side with him there. Centre-back partnership of Michael Keane, and it's a toss-up, isn't it? Yerry Mina or Mason Holgate. I think the fact that Holgate was thrown straight in, despite maybe not being 100% fit against United, would suggest that Holgate's gonna be the choice going forwards. So I think we'll see those two together, and they ended last season very well as a partnership. Maybe they'll pick up where they left off. They just need a couple of games to get back into the swing of things, and I think a game like this could be quite good for them to build a bit of confidence. Left back, of course, it's Luca Dean. I'm not sure how much discussion needs to be had there. In midfield, again, a bit of a conundrum. Decore, of course, is a necessity on that sort of right side of the defence to fill in the gaps of John Joe Kenny and James. He drops off quite nicely, but having that work to do means that Allen is quite thinly stretched next to him. Allen, who I think will be in that role that he always plays in, and you see Allen caught out of position because of it, making some silly challenges because of it, and losing the ball a little bit because of it. it's not a perfect system, the one we're in at the moment, because it all starts with James having a free rein, Kenny out of position, Doucouré out of position, and Alan, who looks a little worse because of it, because people look at him and think, oh, look, he's out of position, he's given away a silly foul. But because Doucouré's over there on the right, making up lost ground, Alan's got a lot to do. And he's good, but he's not that good. But I think, that's the best partnership we have at the moment. It's, it's 100 years on from Tom Davies and Morgan Schneiderlin of old. So Andre Gomes, I think, will be in front of them because that's been our most successful midfield trio this season. Do I necessarily think it's what we should go with? I'll come back to that. Out on the right, I think we'll see James again. Is he fully fit? Does he need a couple of games just to get back up to full fitness? It looks like we've been pushing him on and pushing him through games where he necessarily isn't fit. I can still see him being picked, but it's something to think about. And the other thing I'd think about here is maybe where I suggest something else that could work. Not saying it's the better option, but could we have maybe Richarlison out on the right where James is? We know he can play on both sides. Bernard impressed me out on the left against Man United. Maybe he could take up that position. Take Gomes out of the team and have James more in that midfield role that Gomes has been playing. It gives him an excuse to have a bit more of a free rein. It means the ball doesn't die so much when we go through the midfield, through sort of the straight channels, and it still means we have quality and agility out wide. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. But for now, my prediction is, of course, James on the right, Gomes through the middle, and then out on the left will be Richarlison coming back, because it is 100% that we need him back in the team as soon as possible. The terrifying record that we have not won a game without Richarlison playing since he joined the club shows how much we rely on him, because what he does attacking and defending is stellar work. And that is a scary stat, isn't it? You're saying it back now, I'm thinking, how much do we rely on him? So obviously he's back in, and then of course up top it's Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We don't really have any other options. Well, I don't know why we'd want to explore any other options. That's not me saying, I'd like to have something else, but he's on fire. But bringing on Cenk Tosun for the last 20 minutes of a game does not feel like we're sort of settled in that position. I know Moise Kean wasn't happy playing that role that Tosun's now playing, and Tosun's always seemed quite happy just to come in off the bench, and I think he's a good asset off the bench. But I'd like to have something else there. So that's my team, guys. Pickford in goal, John Joe Kenny, Michael Keane, Mason Holgate and Luca Dean making up the back line, Doucouré and Allen in the more defensive midfield roles. Andre Gomes in front of them with more of a free rein, and then a front line of James Rodriguez, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Bernard did enough to warrant staying in? Do you think James needs dropping for a while? And would you have John Joe Kenny or Ben Godfrey? Let me know in the comments below your team, what you think about those questions. Let's hope we can get back to winning ways, and I will see you guys next week.